Hi, and welcome back to Module 3, Lesson 2. This lesson is entitled Move Your Body. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about movement and the benefits that we can experience as a result of movement, benefits to our mind and to our body. So there are multiple benefits of movement. One is to improve the mind-body connection. We also improve our cardiac health and have a decreased risk for high blood pressure or stroke. We also improve our mood, decrease anxiety, and decrease depression by improving our energy levels. Also, we have a decreased risk for many types of cancer or metabolic syndrome. There's also a decreased risk for type 2 diabetes. And also, people who move are able to manage their chronic conditions better. You're more, your bones are healthier. You can manage arthritis better. You're less prone to falls. You have better coordination, and you also have better sleep. So in this, we can see that with exercise, we increase or maintain our insulin sensitivity. We decrease hyperlipidemia, which is kind of fat in your blood. We have better mitochondrial function. We decrease chronic inflammation, and we increase muscle mass and strength. So all of these are good benefits to exercise. What does your brain do on exercise? Your brain increases the endorphins in the pituitary gland, which reduces anxiety, depression, and stress. It also increases the production of BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which helps maintain healthy neurons. Your brain also increases activity in the temporal lobe, which increases the ability to store memories. So, so individuals who exercise have better neurologic function all around, and in addition to these specific things that I've mentioned. Exercise is also preventative for cancer. There was a meta-analysis, which means that researchers looked at many different studies, in this case 27 observational studies that were published between the years 1950 and 2011. And what they saw was each of these studies showed consistent evidence that physical activity is associated with a reduced risk of all causes of cancer, specifically breast and colon, and the mortality thereof. So it reduces the risk of getting these cancers and also of dying from these cancers. And more than that, physical activity improves the quality of life of people diagnosed with cancer. And exercise obviously reduces obesity, which is an independent risk factor for cancer. So overall, what we're saying is that exercise can help reduce your risk for cancer. On the other hand, sedentary lifestyles increase the risk of cancer. And there was also a meta-analysis in this case, which included 31 studies with over 63,000 cases. They examined the relationship between exercise and breast cancer risk. And there was found that there was a prevalence of inactivity in the general population is estimated to be about 38%. So almost 40% of the general population is inactive. And 10% of all incidental breast cancers are attributed to inactivity. And vigorous exercise reduced the risk of breast cancer more than moderate activity. So it doesn't actually have to be completely vigorous activity. It can be just walking. And it was found that women who engaged in the equivalent of at least 2 to 3 hours of brisk walking each week in the year before they were diagnosed with breast cancer were 31% likely to die of the disease than women who were sedentary before their diagnosis. So walking is helpful and preventative. Women who increased physical activity after their diagnosis had a 45% lower risk of death when compared with women who were inactive both before and after diagnosis. And women who decreased their physical activity after the diagnosis had a fourfold greater risk of death. So it's not only important to be active, but it's also important to remain active even when there is a diagnosis of cancer. And the last thing I'll say about this is that if we throw diet into the mix with exercise and risk of cancer, it's been shown that a combination of 5 to 6 servings of vegetables a day and exercise equivalent to walking 30 minutes 6 days a week will reduce the risk of death from breast cancer by 44% among early stage breast cancer patients. So it is very important to not only have a healthy diet and exercise, and there will also be a reduced risk of certain cancers, especially breast cancer, which has been extensively studied. So there's several myths about exercise that need to be dispelled here. People think, to lose weight, you need to exercise. That's not necessarily true. It's mostly diet if you want to lose weight. People don't go to the gym to lose. It's very difficult, and I'll show you in later slides some evidence to that. Some people also think that cardio is the only type of exercise you need. You don't. You do need to have cardiovascular activity, but that is not the only exercise you need. Strength training is also important. Another myth is that using weights will bulk up muscles. This is also a myth, and also the myth that muscles will turn to fat when you stop working out. Another very destructive myth is if you exercise a lot, you can eat more. That is something that people run into and can really run down a bad road for that. Exercise erases a bad diet. Just because you exercise does not mean that you can eat all the fried food, fast food, and sugar that you want. Supplements or protein shakes are necessary for after workout. No, that is also another myth. So what I want to emphasize to you here is that exercise is not about weight loss. You do not lose weight from exercise. Exercise has a lot of benefits, many, many benefits, but it does not help you lose weight. And it's just basically simple math. So there's 3 different kinds of calories that we all have, we all burn. One is the resting rate, or the resting metabolic rate, which is 60% of the calories that we burn. These are the calories that we burn just sitting, just breathing. That's what even a person in a coma would burn these calories. Then you have the thermic effect, meaning burning the food that you ingest. That counts for 10%. And then you have active calories, which is the calories that we would burn when we exercise. It's important to understand that calories burned from exercise, meaning the active calories, will never exceed more than 30% of the total caloric output. Never. That goes for us sitting here in the United States or wherever you are in the world, to people who run around all day on the savannas of Africa. It's all the same for every human. And if you think that, one muffin is about 500 calories, and if you want to burn 500 calories, you would need to run maybe 1 hour or maybe a little more than that. So the next time you think about taking in that 500 calorie muffin, Think about how long you have to run on the treadmill to burn that off. And to prove that, I did a little experiment. I logged my active calories against my total calories for this is about a month straight, and what I saw was that the total calories and the active calorie, the relationship of the active calories to total calories was never more than 30% ever. There's many different kinds of movement that you can participate in. One is aerobic or cardio. It's recommended that we have 150 minutes of moderate activity a week. So that's 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, if you like, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity per week, or a combination of both is acceptable. For people who maybe a little older, or in general, you need to have strength training 2 to 3 times a week, where you exercise your major muscle groups. So these are the muscles of the legs, the arms, the back, and doing 12 to 15 reps of an exercise for which is one set. Doing 3 or 4 sets of exercises would be sufficient 2 or 3 times a week. And then you can do stretching, which includes yoga, or you can also do some breath work, which also involves stretching. So women can use some strength training, and that has many benefits, including increased muscle growth, strength and power, recovery, and endurance. So these are beneficial. It's also works to increase the integrity of bone and connective tissues. The metabolism is also more engaged with strength training. Your muscles are experience the effects of human growth hormone, which is engaged in strength training activities. Insulin sensitivity is also increased, and all things including the rate of injury, lower back pain, slowing of age-related declines like strength and bone loss, prevention of osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. All these things, rate of injury and lower back pain, etc., are reduced. So these are all great benefits of strength training, especially if you are a woman. There's all sorts of things you can do to strength train. You can use exercise bands or resistance bands. You can get them on Amazon. They're very easy and they're light. You can take them on trips if you like, if they can fit very easily in a suitcase. Exercise machines that you find at the gym, you should get somebody at the gym you go to show you how to use them if you're interested in that. It's always good to get instruction. Body weight exercises, which only use your body weight. These are exercises like push-ups, or other exercises which use only body weight. Barbells and plates, these also are free weights at the gym, including kettlebells as well, sandbags, medicine balls, and suspension straps like TRX straps that hang from the ceiling. These are all strength training devices. So we know what to do. We know why we should do it. Now, how do we actually make a habit of doing it? It's really hard. I mean, how many times have I heard people say, I know what I have to do, I just have to do it, or I just have to get to the gym and then I know what to do. Well, James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, has some suggestions to form a habit. And it's not just for exercise, this is for habits, for anything. But if you want to go to the gym, he recommends 4 things. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So make it obvious. Put your gym clothes out the night before, or put your gym clothes in the car. Make it attractive. Wear clothes, have equipment that you enjoy wearing, right? Make it easy. go to the gym on your way home from work or on your way to work if you get up a little bit early. So you don't have to go home first and then leave the house again, and make it satisfying. So do something that you know you can do to completion, and that you feel accomplished from doing it. So these are just some of the things that I said before in the previous slide. Some of the suggestions, like, I usually put my clothes out the night before. I've been doing it for many, many years. Before I go to bed, I stick my clothes in the bathroom uh, next to the shower, and my workout clothes are right there, and I'm ready to get dressed first thing in the morning. When I used to go out and exercise at a gym outside, I would pack my bag and I would put it in the car. I didn't come home and pick up my bag. I had it in the car already so that I could go after work immediately. Exercise in the morning if you can. Any time of the day that you can fit it in is good, but if you can exercise in the morning, you take advantage of the cortisol spike. That will help you get more energy and be more amenable to exercise. Get an accountability partner. Find somebody who you can go to the gym with. Find a partner. You have to really be careful with this one, because there are times when you will go and no one will be there, or you might be lulled into thinking that you should wait for somebody to go with you, and if they don't show up, then you don't go to the gym. But you know what? You should go to the gym anyway. Do the exercise anyway. If someone else is there to be with you, great. If they're not there, then that doesn't mean that you should skip. And you should also be realistic in the choice of your exercise. If you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to want to do it. Don't think you're going to go and say, well, I'm going to go and run 5 miles a day. If you hate running, you won't get very far. So making it social includes, getting an accountability partner, taking classes if that's your thing. Or getting a personal trainer if you can afford to do that. Not everybody can do that, but you know what, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. There's plenty of remote ways that we can learn what exercises to do and how to do them. You don't need to go to the gym to take a class to do it, but if you want to take a class, and you want to be with other people, that's another option that you can do. Whatever you do, make it a lifelong habit. Exercise adds years to life and life to years. This is how we age successfully, and that has been studied and proven. There are two studies that I would mention that vigorous activity improves longevity. One is the Copenhagen City Heart Study. They studied both men and women joggers and noticed an increase in long-term survival. The Harvard alumni study only included men, but also said the same thing, that vigorous physical activity improved longevity. You will lower your risk of osteoporosis, of cancer, and cardiac disease if you make exercise a lifelong habit. And also, just remember that movement is a form of self-care. You are keeping your body healthy, you are keeping your mind healthy, you are lowering your risk of disease, and you are increasing longevity. You are having a long life. These are all things that show that you are caring for yourself and you are worth it. And if it doesn't work out one day, don't give up. Don't have the all or nothing mentality, and say, well, if I didn't make it, then my whole workout is blown, so I might as well not go for the whole week. Just try again tomorrow. Give yourself some grace and don't give up on yourself. You are worth it. If you ever want to reach me, my website is intentionalselfct.com. My Facebook page is Intentional Self, and my Instagram is Dr. Terry Alacio. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you in lesson 3.